Welcome to this deep dive. You know we all want to unlock our potential, achieve more, and that's why we are diving deep into Napoleon Hill's Law of Success today.
It's wild to think this book came out way back in 1928, Model Ts, the Roaring Twenties. But here's the thing, the principles Hill talks about, still super relevant almost a century later.
It's like he was onto something timeless, you
Yep.
know? And think about it. He learned all this by studying more than 100 crazy successful people. I mean, we are talking Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, talk about going straight to the top.
Absolutely. He knew the power of learning from those who already did what everyone else was trying to do.
Okay, so let's unpack one of Hill's most interesting ideas,
Mm.
the mastermind. It's got to be more than just a bunch of smart people in a room, right?
Way more. Hill talks about it like chemistry. Individual elements mixed in the right way, boom, new substance, totally different properties. A mastermind, it's like that. Individual minds, they blend perfectly, unlocking potential, knowledge. You just wouldn't get that alone.
So just being around brilliant people isn't enough. It's deeper, more about real connection, collaboration.
Exactly. Think about Ford, Edison, and Harvey Firestone. Lifelong buddies, these guys. And they credited so much of their success to those retreats they took every year. Brainstorming, sharing ideas, just backing each other up.
Their individual achievements already amazing, right? But together, that's next level synergy.
Yeah.
And it wasn't Ford, even with not much formal schooling, crazy successful. He built this incredible team of experts, coordinated everything. Sounds like a mastermind in action.
You got it. Hill was all about the real power of the mastermind is in using everyone's strengths, all that different expertise. Ford, he was a visionary, no doubt, but he was smart enough to surround himself with people who rocked in the areas he didn't.
Makes you wonder what we could achieve if we use that idea, that harmonious collaboration, not just in business, but in our personal lives too. Relationships, everything.
No, there's a powerful thought. It shows just how relevant Hill's stuff still is. And speaking of Ford's education, or lack of it, Hill had a very specific take on education. Might surprise you.
Hit me with it. Did he think everyone needs a pile of PhDs to succeed?
Not even close. He didn't see education as just racking up facts, more like developing the ability to pull in, to use whatever knowledge you need right when you need it.
That's a whole different way of looking at education. Not about memorizing everything, but knowing how to find the info you need.
Right. It's like knowledge is a tool, right? And knowing how to use it, way more valuable than just having a ton of it.
Reminds me of that story about Ford on the Chicago Tribune.
Yeah.
He called him ignorant, tried to make him look bad in court, all these trivia questions.
Oh, yeah. Ford, he's always playing chess, right? Business, life, everything. And his comeback, genius. I don't need my head crammed with useless details. I got experts for that.
So good. He just flipped their whole argument on its head. He understood how to use other people's knowledge, leverage it.
Exactly. That's what Hill's getting at with education. Not about knowing all the answers yourself, but how to find them. Teamwork, using experts, all of that.
Makes you think about everything we've got now, right? Internet, all this information, more than ever.
And that's why Hill's ideas are even more important now. It's not about becoming some walking Wikipedia. It's about navigating all that info, figuring out what matters, using it right.
So we've got the mastermind, this whole new view on education.
Yeah.
What else did Hill find in his research on success?
Well, he got into the psychology of it, too, the stuff that holds people back. He called them the 6 basic fears.
Okay, lay it on me. What are these fears that can totally sabotage us?
He said it's fear of poverty, ill health, getting old, losing love, criticism, and, death.
Pretty universal, wouldn't you say? I mean, who hasn't stressed about criticism or worried about the future?
Exactly. It's not about pretending these fears don't exist. That's impossible. It's about knowing where they come from and not letting them run the show, Controlling your decisions, your actions.
How do we do that, though? How do we stop fear from holding us back from our goals, our dreams?
Hill's answer is pretty interesting. He was all about organized knowledge. That's the weapon against fear, he said.
Knowledge is power. For real.
For real. When you learn how other people conquered challenges, faced their fears, achieved what they wanted, it's like a map for us, right? Arm yourself with knowledge, surround yourself with people who've walked that path, and you can change your thinking. Replace fear with action.
That just makes sense. Seeing others overcome stuff, it gives you courage.
Yeah.
Like if they can do it, maybe I can too.
Exactly. And remember that whole mastermind thing. Super important here too. Having those supportive people around you, people who've been through it, it's so powerful.
Like having your own personal team of mentors cheering you on, giving advice based on what they've lived.
Exactly. You're not in this alone. That's the thing.
Knowing you've got people in your corner, that's huge. That's like Hill saying, hey, you don't have to climb this mountain alone.
Exactly. And that connects to another big idea from Hill, spotting opportunity. He was convinced those opportunities are everywhere, but most of us, we're just not seeing them.
It's like that saying, you can lead a horse to water. Some people, all they see is the obstacle, others, they see potential.
Right. Hill tells this story. A man buys 150 acres of farmland. Everyone thought it was worthless, useless for farming, just barren, rocky.
Okay, got a bite. I'm guessing he didn't just give up.
No way. This guy, he had vision, didn't see limits, he saw what it could be, built a dam right there on the property, created a whole lake, stocked it with fish, landscaped the whole thing, sold it off as lakeside lots, made a killing.
Turned a problem into a gold mine. That's incredible.
Exactly. Proves Hill's point right.
Okay.
Success is about mixing knowledge, imagination, then having the guts to act. You take the ordinary, boom, extraordinary.
Looking deeper, thinking differently, seeing what others miss.
You got it. And Hill believed that applies to everything, not just making money. Personal struggles, your career, just wanting a better life. It's that mindset, that opportunity is out there.
So, as we wrap up our deep dive into Napoleon Hill, his law of success, what's the big takeaway for our listeners today?
If you remember just one thing, you're more powerful than you think. You can create your own mastermind. You can beat those fears with knowledge, with action. And you can learn to spot those golden opportunities everyone else is missing.
It's about owning your power and realizing you're not alone on this journey. Hill's law of success is not some rigid recipe. It's about understanding these principles, using them in your own life, your own way.
Perfectly put. Knowledge is power, sure. But when you connect with others, build those strong relationships. It's like tapping into this energy source way bigger than yourself.
Your potential, it just explodes. This has been amazing. I'm fired up, ready to get to work.
So as you think about all this, ask yourself, what connections can I make stronger to build my mastermind? What's been holding me back? What fears? And how do I start conquering them today? And maybe most importantly, where's that opportunity I'm not seeing? The one that could change everything.